Yeah. It's good. I mean, this is the first episode of the podcast. Like, you already know how it is. All right. We don't know what the hell we're doing, but we are. We do have an interesting topic, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to introduce it?
Um, I'll go ahead, I guess. So,
All right.
we're going to be doing 5G, basically. We're going to talk about everything 5G and apparently how it started the coronavirus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a pretty good theory behind that one. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the people are gonna hop on that wave.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously it started the coronavirus. There's no other explanation.
Oh yeah.
All right, so first you guys want to get into the iPad Pro first?
All right. Yeah. Okay. So the iPad Pro, right? It recently came out. I don't know, like
I think it was like a week ago.
a
2
week
weeks
ago.
ago?
There you go.
Something
Oh,
like
but the
that.
keyboard hasn't come out yet.
No, the keyboard comes out I think in May. Is when they said.
Okay. So there's literally no point in me buying this shit then. All right.
No, not unless not unless you want to use it without the new keyboard.
I just literally just want the keyboard.
Yeah, it comes out. So the iPad Pro is available starting March 25th, and the keyboard comes out in May,
Okay.
which doesn't
Alright.
make sense to me. Just release them at
Makes
the
no
same time.
yeah. Honestly, one of the best features on it was that keyboard.
The
They had the
keyboard, yeah.
the little trailer that came out. And
And then they just said, "Hey, we're not releasing it yet. By the way, you're gonna have to wait." So basically, the iPad Pro is actually very good though. It has, I think it's a really good screen, for sure, because it's 120 hertz, which Apple's never done before. Besides in the iPad Pro, it's the only thing they do it for. They don't do it for their laptops, and I don't think they do it for their PCs either, or not PCs. I'm sorry, Macs. They don't do it for their Macs.
Yeah.
We don't speak on PC.
Hey, hold on. Put some respect on PC.
No, I'm just saying Apple doesn't rock with PC.
Oh no, of course not.
No. But yeah, the screen's very good. 600 nits of brightness, which I don't think you'll ever get to because your eyes will fall off if you get to
Pretty
600
much what
nits.
they're saying is, if it's 12 o'clock midnight, you might want to turn on your brightness.
Turn your brightness all the way up and use it as a flashlight with 600 nits. I think so. They basically have the same camera as the iPhone 11 has, the iPhone 11 Pro, I think, but it comes with LiDAR, which is light detection and raging laser or some shit. And
Okay.
yeah, so basically it's like augmented reality, which is very cool. You could see things. I don't know. I'm not really an augmented reality guy. Never used it before, so I don't know how it goes. But we'll figure that out when Apple drops it, I guess.
Hold on, let's not forget the work that Apple put into this website because
The website for Apple is very nice.
if you guys go check out the iPad Pro website, this thing is crazy. They have some insane animations on there.
Mm-hmm. They're also claiming that it's faster than a PC. So Windows has to watch out.
well, we
the
gotta see
iPad
that in
Pro
person. I don't know
coming.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
Your iPad might just end up melting.
But the keyboard is, I think, the most interesting part because it floats. Apparently, well, I mean, it doesn't float. It just hovers above.
It hovers.
The
It has
table.
it's nice. It looks nice.
Mm-hmm. It's a magnetic attachment, and I guess you could adjust to any angle you want because of the magnets. Smooth angle adjustment is what they call it.
Yeah. So what? This thing's gonna cost like $3,000, right?
Oh, and the case. Well, the keyboard obviously doubles as a case, and you could plug in a USB-C to the hinge on the case, and that's how you charge the iPad, apparently. So it's
I see that.
wireless
Yeah.
charging. It's wireless
on.
charging.
Did they have wireless charging before?
Yes, they have, but not in a case like this, at least.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. The keyboard's backlit, and no Touch ID, but the iPad Pro comes with Face ID, so you don't really need it.
Okay, I see that. Yep.
And
That's cool.
I think it's not as big as the trackpad on a MacBook, but I'm pretty sure it comes with multi-touch. It does come with multi-touch, which is why Apple continuously comes out with the best trackpads.
I have to agree. That's true. Their
Mhm.
stuff is really smooth.
Comes with so the iPad also, iPad OS now enables the cursor, so you could move around with a cursor. which because the old keyboards for the Mac or the iPad Pro didn't have trackpads. They were just keyboards.
Oh, so that's what they were talking about in the video. They were talking about how like there was like they got rid of like the cursor and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
you
now
could do
they
some craziness now.
because now with iPad OS, I guess they have a use for it, so they brought it back.
Okay. I try to avoid it. I try to like not speak on it the first time, but
And then I'm pretty sure it's the same pencil, the same Apple Pencil, which is very good. I mean, I don't think there's really any need to improve it. So I guess they could just keep rocking with the same Apple Pencil. It still charges in the same place.
As long as it gets the job done, right? Then that's what matters.
That's all that matters. It just works.
Okay, now hold on. They have some interesting features on here too. It does have Wi-Fi 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it's LTE like compatible. So I guess I could put my SIM card in it. Right?
Yeah, you could hook it up to your provider. You could do that with the old iPad Pros too, but I don't think it was Wi-Fi 6.
Okay, Wi-Fi 6 is interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
And of course, it comes with Apple's, amazing privacy and all that jazz. And you also yeah, so that's pretty much all you need. And then it comes, obviously, you can get $7.99 for just the Wi-Fi version, and then and then the cellular version I think goes up to $9.99 starting.
Oh, that's a lot of money though.
It is, but you also get
1 terabyte of storage though, which is actually the most I've ever seen Apple put in a product.
For baseline, or that's up to 1 terabyte actually, not baseline. I think baseline is 64 gigs, which I mean for a tablet, you don't really need to get up to 1 terabyte.
No.
But it's nice that
it depends though. I think they're not really marketing this so much as a tablet. This is more.
Apple's really trying to.
The PC.
I feel like Apple's in a weird spot because they're trying to make the iPad Pro good enough to be a laptop, but they also don't want it to compete with their laptops.
I mean, the thing is, at maxed out, we're talking about $1,500. This is.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, at that point, it depends on if you want a laptop or if you want an iPad.
That's true.
And I don't know if they're at the point where I would take an iPad over a MacBook. Unless
we'll see.
I guess the iPad Pro is more suited for like photo editing because you could use your hands.
Yeah, that's where you get like you probably need that 1 terabyte of space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You'd be saving. Okay, so it's not that bad actually.
No, the iPad Pro. It also comes with the functional USB-C, so it's not just power. You could plug anything, adapters into there to plug in USBs and for flash storage.
This thing is in 5G, is it?
No. I don't think so. Let me see.
Come on, Apple. Come on, you gotta hop on the train. At least make it 5G. I'm paying $1,500 for this. So.
Yeah, no, the iPad Pro is in 5G.
Sick in my head.
That's tough. All right.
Although, transitioning, the next generation iPhone is reportedly going to have 5G.
Which, I mean, it should, because we're at that point where 5G is, up next.
It's up next, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about here in the U.S., so didn't like T-Mobile, they started rolling it out? Yeah. I got a message on my phone. It's like, oh yeah, if you have a 5G compatible phone, we support you now. Which
really no one does right now.
So
we have to wait for the phones to catch up.
Okay, yeah, but so we're talking about the iPhone 12, right? So they have a new processor, right? The A14 chip coming out.
Yeah.
5 nanometers, so we're actually moving down from 7 nanometers to 5.
Yes.
Which, really, that's incredible, because I don't even think most laptops use a 5 nanometer processor. Mm-hmm. So, this is going to be really thin.
It's going to be super thin, which is Apple's bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they made the new iPhones thicker, the iPhone 11 was way thicker than the iPhone. Well, not way thicker, but noticeably thicker than the iPhone 10 and the ones before it.
Why is that though?
I believe it was the bigger battery.
Okay, I see.
But who knows?
Oh, actually, right here, yeah, it says resulted in Apple switching to a thicker body.
Yeah.
With bigger battery size.
Yeah, because
And by the way, actually, all the links that are going to be down in the description for all the articles that we're going to be speaking about.
Of course.
So.
But yeah, with the new iPhone, with the iPhone 11 Pro, the battery life is insane on that thing. You could use it for like a day and a half without it dying. Which
I don't know about that.
that's Apple's, ratings.
That's the official number that they put.
Yeah,
Right?
but
realistically, every time I see an Apple like an iPhone user, bro, all their phones are always dying.
it's because people never charge their phones anymore.
What are you doing? Like I'm telling you, can never go up to an Android person and see their phone dying.
That's
Impossible.
a lie.
You will never catch me lacking. My phone is
You'll
never
never catch you lacking
30%.
with a dead phone.
Never.
You'd never call me with a dead phone.
Well, I mean, I can't.
Exactly. All right.
Bro, you will never catch me.
So
Impossible.
the iPhone 12, it says will support 5G networks. So
Well, not actually, and actually, that's interesting.
it says it comes
Because-
integrated, 5G integrated.
Integrated
modem.
into the processor.
Yeah, integrated into the processor.
Okay.
The A14 Bionic.
I like that actually.
Mm.
And what's even better is they're using Qualcomm's. It's not actually coming from Apple themselves.
No, they're using Qualcomm Snapdragon. Their
Okay, so
5G
the
modem.
the 5G modem is coming from Qualcomm, which is interesting because you would assume that Apple would probably put a lot of effort into making their own modem.
They're definitely going to use this and then develop their own and then just get rid of Qualcomm.
So next gen is probably
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, next gen or the gen after that will probably be Apple's own.
Okay, that's it actually supports from 5G to 2G. I don't know why anybody would need 2G on a.
Yeah, 2G. I don't remember the last time I've seen a 2G network.
I wasn't born when them things were around, so.
My first iPhone or my first phone in general was an iPhone 3G.
Yeah,
So I was never on the 2G wave.
Yeah, but the thing is, I never had it like connected to a cellular service. It was always just on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, my first phone was basically an iPod. Like
Pretty much.
There was no SIM card in that thing.
No SIM. Yeah, but it got the job done, right?
Mhm.
We all know the throwback games, right?
Yeah. The paper toss and all those.
Paper toss, jetpack joyride, all that.
Angry Birds.
Oh, Angry Birds was my thing, dude.
I was
Actually-
trash at that game.
I think I still have a book bag that's Angry Birds.
An Angry Birds
I
book
was,
bag?
I was, yeah. Actually, there's an old photo of me on Instagram somewhere on the old Instagram account where I had the red Angry Birds shirt and I had the eyes and bro,
That's sick.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But,
It's the worst quality image though. Like,
of course, because they were taking.
we talk about Android quality. Like this thing's
Android
bad.
quality. This is old Android quality, not new Android quality.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because Android's new cameras are sick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can't sleep on Android anymore.
But yeah, Apple will use Qualcomm's Snapdragon X55 5G modem, but like we said, it'll probably get replaced, like they're doing with Intel. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
the new MacBooks, or I think they said the 2020 MacBooks or the ones after that are gonna have Apple's new chip, which I believe is the A14 or the A16 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, they're saying actually the A14 is rivaling the 6-core Intel processors, which is pretty crazy to think about.
And we all know Apple just loves to lock their stuff down. So once that CPU comes, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Say goodbye to all your Apple hacks and whatnot. It's not gonna happen
VMs and all
anymore.
that.
Yep, that's gone out the window.
Would that would probably get rid of
jailbreaking.
Hackintoshes too, right?
Yeah, maybe like you could probably get like the older stuff, right?
Yeah.
It depends, right? There comes to a certain point where I think they're gonna update or Mac OS,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna check to see
If you're on an
what
Apple chip, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
That will effectively get rid of Hackintoshes in the future.
and that's done.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta wait and see though, because how do mobile processors compare to those, full size desktop processors? So I don't know.
Well, according to Apple, the new chip in the iPhone 12 will be able to rival the 15-inch MacBook Pro. I don't know how, but we'll see.
I mean, the Geekbench score is interesting.
The
Because it
Geekbench-
has been, they have like some projection here,
Mhm.
and it's steadily increasing,
It's-
which
yeah.
is,
I don't even know where A14 is gonna end up at.
who knows? I mean, the way that they're saying this is clocked in at about 2.84 gigahertz.
Yeah. Expected.
Okay, up to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this isn't. I don't think this is. It's gonna be hard to replace the MacBook ones because we're talking about Intel Core 6-core CPUs that can clock at like 4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
You understand? So you're not gonna get that top end performance, but for sure, battery life is gonna be amazing on the MacBooks.
Yeah,
The thing's gonna last like
MacBooks
2
usually
days.
have good. Well, the MacBook Air has very good battery life. The MacBook Pros are a little less. I think the one I have, the 16-inch, has I think 11 hours of video playback from Apple. I usually get around like 8-9 hours of when I'm like actually using it to do work. So that's not bad.
Okay, that's not bad at all actually.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think you're gonna get the same performance that you would with an Intel. Not just yet, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe give it like 2 or 3 generations, and then we'll have something.
Apple usually takes a while to catch up.
If we're gonna keep it at 2.84 gigahertz, which is actually really close to 3,
which is good for a phone. I mean,
which is good for a phone, definitely. That's actually more than
it's overkill for a phone.
That's true. That is pretty true. But there's one thing that Apple's been slacking in with their phones is the RAM.
Mm-hmm.
They need a upgrade. I think the iPhone 11 only had 6 gigs of RAM, something like that. 4?
I know some phones are going up to like 12, 16.
Yeah. Next gen phones are gonna like for Android phones, Samsung phones, 16 at least.
16 gigabytes of RAM on a phone. Jesus, I have 16 gigs of RAM in my PC.
There you go.
It's insane.
That's But though, Apple has some competition on the other spectrum because well, we'll get to it in a little bit, but they have a rival for the A14 already.
Yeah, so the rival for the A14 is the new one that's coming in the Samsungs, right?
Yeah, so we're pushing. They're trying to push the Snapdragon 865.
Yeah, also made by Qualcomm Snapdragon.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Qualcomm.
The 865 new chip that also comes with 5G.
Mm-hmm. Now this one's gonna be interesting because, we have about the same gigahertz. They're clocking in at about up to 2.84 gigahertz.
Yeah,
so not necessarily. I don't think it would be good enough for a full size laptop.
Yeah, no.
But
that's why I don't know where Apple's getting this comparable to the 15-inch MacBook Pro.
I don't know. They pulled that stat out of somewhere.
In defense, though, the 15-inch MacBook Pro also wasn't very good, so we'll take that.
It depends because we gotta break down the language, right? What do they mean? What model of the 15-inch, right? Because
I'm assuming
does the 15-inch have like the i3 or something?
Yeah, I'm assuming base model. I don't think the 15-inch ever came in i3. I think it started at i5.
Okay.
Let me look that up.
Because then that'd be interesting. If they're comparing it to a low-end processor, then maybe, okay, I can see it, right? But, I don't know. In reality, I think that it's going to suffer a little bit. So I don't think Apple's is ready to get rid of Intel just yet.
I know.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Apple discontinued the 15-inch MacBook Pro in favor of the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So,
okay.
I mean, people were always complaining.
Compare it to the 16, right?
People were always complaining about the 15-inch because the keyboards were trash. The butterfly switches that they had, I mean, I had a 13-inch MacBook Pro with the butterfly switches, and I hated it. The switches were I couldn't type on them for extended periods of time. It's hard to type on it because there's no travel, so you don't really know if a key actually registered or not.
Oh.
So, with the new ones, well, not the new ones, it's basically the old ones, rebranded. They call them the Magic Keyboard, which is way better because it has more travel. So you feel better when you're typing.
Okay, and I'm just looking at the 16 inches right now. The lowest they have is the i7.
The 16-inch?
Okay. The 16-inch.
I believe, no, they go down to,
i7.
Yeah, you're right, i7.
The 13-inch though goes down to the i5. Okay, so
yeah,
I can see where this is going, but you can still see the i5 boost up to 3.9 gigahertz. That's
which is pretty good.
Pretty good. So I don't think the A14 is going to be doing so much, but we'll see. We gotta wait and see how it actually performs. You can look at the benchmarks all you want, but
we're not really gonna know until we get it and can actually compare.
For sure. Okay, well, let's see what Snapdragon has to say about that.
About the new chip.
Now, I heard about the 865 a while ago, and this is supposed to be the next generation for most Android flagship phones.
Okay.
Okay, so same thing as Apple is doing. We're gonna have multi-gigabit 5G, and there we have AI cores this time.
Okay.
Although I believe the last generation also has. But we're talking about improved photo quality, so up to 64 megapixel photos.
Megapixel, yeah.
64 we had,
megapixel. That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's crystal clear.
But didn't actually no, Samsung, the new S20 has I think what 105 megapixel, 110 megapixel. I don't
That's
know,
sick.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Their cameras are getting crazy now.
And this is just a chip. The chip is able to handle this. So we're talking. It says right here, the Qualcomm Spectra 480 ISP captures professional quality videos at gigapixel speeds.
Gigapixel.
I don't know what that means.
I've never even heard of that before.
While simultaneously, so it's the saying at the same time taking 64 megapixel photos. So
yeah,
we can record. I don't know. We can record some like 8K video, and take 64 megapixel photos at the same time.
This gigapixel speed delivers new camera features, including Dolby Vision video capture, 8K video recording, 200 megapixel photos, and simultaneously capturing 4K HDR video. That's sick.
This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Just gotta say that right off the bat. Let me see what else we have going on here. New desktop level gaming feature.
I don't know about that.
I don't like hearing this because no.
What desktop
this
are you
isn't
testing
gonna
this out on? Where you got gaming
Seriously.
features from this?
Let me see. What does this say? Snapdragon Elite Gaming. This is a brand new suite of features. I guess they're adding to the phone or they're adding to the chip, which brings desktop forward rendering for extreme realism and the first ever updatable GPU drivers on mobile. Okay, yes, I did hear about this. Android, like Google, was trying to push that you can actually update your phone through the Google Play Store, so you don't have to wait for these major updates to come in.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And I think that's what they're doing. So on the hardware level, you're able to update the drivers as well
Through the Play Store?
through the Play Store.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know if they're gonna try and do this through the Play Store. Maybe they'll have their own separate software, but we'll see how that goes. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I've never
crazy.
even been able or heard of being able to update the drivers straight from your phone.
Yeah, that's new, right?
Everything is
And let me see. Well, new to the mobile game.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. Let's specify that. New to the mobile game. What else do we have here? Better battery life, 25% faster performance.
To power down.
For power. Yeah. Okay. We have quick charge AI technology.
I don't even know what that means. Quick charge AI technology.
Checks battery health and safety to help extend battery life cycles up to 200 days.
Oh, okay. So it's basically
So
saying
your battery's gonna last another 200 days. Let's say.
I'm assuming they mean more battery cycles here, because I don't.
Okay, so powering and charging it and then as it decharges or whatever.
I know iPhone has this thing where it measures or it takes note of your times of using your phone, and it'll charge it accordingly. So like if it's late at night and they know you're not going to be on your phone, then they'll charge it up to 80%, and then finish up the charge in the morning so that it doesn't kill the battery.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
And I assume it uses like AI for that then. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure how it works. I've just noticed it. I haven't really looked it up.
That's really cool. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, and then we also have the 5G, right, which we talked about in the beginning. 7.5 gigabit per second speeds.
7.5 gigabit per second for what was it?
The 5G, the Snapdragon X55 5G modem, which is actually the same that you have on the A14 chip.
Yeah, 7.5.
Okay, so they're both gonna have the same connection speeds. In theory. Yeah,
well, that's peak download speed.
That's peak, yeah.
And you're never gonna reach that.
Never. But it's looking to be pretty powerful. That's what they're saying. Some other features: no limit HD slow motion video capture at 960 frames per second.
Yeah, I've seen that too. 960 FPS for the video capture.
Jesus.
That's insane. You can't even see that,
That's,
right? With your own eye.
no. No, that's that's super slow.
Yeah, that's sick.
Okay, and that's really what it's looking like. It's looking like about a 25% improvement over its predecessor overall.
Full suite of brand new Snapdragon Elite gaming features, including
Yeah.
desktop forward rendering and then Qualcomm Game Color Plus V2.
Oh yeah, so they're actually adding they're trying to add more features to change the color that you see on your phone and stuff like that.
So for better color accuracy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you could change like the sharpness, contrast, and stuff like that. I believe that's what that means, and it actually makes the game pop more and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
So
They're really focusing on the gaming community as well. I don't think has Apple even done
Apple's
anything
not
like
really. I mean, they don't really cater towards gaming in their phones. I mean, they usually just cater towards performance, which I guess ties into gaming, but they never really specify anything about gaming for their phones.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. Apple's never really been about gaming. I don't think they've ever advertised. They have the Apple Arcade, though, but I haven't used it, and I don't even know if it's out yet.
I never even heard of that. So
Yeah.
that's new to me.
I think it comes on the iPhones and the Macs, but I think you have to pay for it.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Actually, and there's one thing that we did miss, and I don't know if we touched on this for the iPhone or the A14 chip. But they both this one also comes out with Wi-Fi 6.
Oh no, we talked about that on the other one. Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wi-Fi 6 on the which one is it? The 865.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, no, this is looking to be interesting as well. We have 8 antennas, so
Yeah.
you can connect to 8 different things at the same time. As an 8 input, 8 output.
They say that
So
this
that's pretty good.
processor is 7 nanometers, and iPhone was trying to get theirs to 5, right? 5 nanometers. So that's interesting.
That's interesting, but who knows? We don't know. Well, I personally don't know the amount of space that that's remaining in the phone, right? I don't know if they can actually even make it even thinner than that. But
Yeah.
you would assume that they probably have some kind of cooling feature on there or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we never. Apple's really never been the best at cooling.
That's true. Let's not forget they have a stove or some shit that they came out with.
Yeah, it's
what
called
MacBook was
the MacBook 15-inch i9.
There you go.
That was
The stove. There you go. That's tough.
So, Wi-Fi standards 802.11ax for Wi-Fi 6, and then
Yep.
A211 or 802.11ac, AD, AY, and
So all the
basic
old ones. So it's backwards compatible.
backwards compatible.
And they do have upgraded security though, WPA3, which I read somewhere that it was already cracked. I don't know.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. Like when they were originally talking about it, like introducing it, I read that it still had the same flaws as the previous generation. So I was like, all right, well,
That's tough.
you know what? Yeah, that's not good.
Peak
But
speed,
peak speeds,
yeah, for the Wi-Fi
yeah.
10 gig.
that's pretty good. But realistically, I don't know.
USB
knows how that's
3.1
gonna
and USB-C for the USBs.
Okay, yeah, these phones are looking pretty hefty. I think Apple definitely has a competitor here.
Max on-device display for this new chip is 4K at 60 Hertz or QHD at 144 Hertz.
Now that's interesting.
pretty-
Have we had a 4K phone?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think OnePlus made one.
OnePlus, a 4K screen phone. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna notice a difference, to be
Yeah, at
honest.
4K that small, you're really not going to see a difference.
No, because 1080p looks amazing already, and that's
On
what
phones,
most-
yeah. Because they're
Yeah, so
they're so
there's
small,
no-
you can't really,
Yeah.
find the pixels.
Although we're talking about GPU video playback is 8K,
Yeah.
360 degrees.
360 VR video playback.
What?
And that's just that's the integrated GPU in the chip.
Mm-hmm. There's something going on. I think Intel needs to level their stuff up. Does Intel HD graphics do this?
I don't know. Intel HD.
What's
graphics.
going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, and it supports the latest, DirectX 12 and all that. So you could definitely play modern games.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually play some desktop games with this.
Load up GTA on my new Samsung.
Imagine.
Memory.
It supports 4 times
Yeah.
16.
DDR.
So what? 64
Yeah,
gigs.
that's 64.
64 gigs of RAM.
And then DDR5. LP DDR5.
Yeah. It's gonna be fast. 2750
Megahertz.
megahertz. That's pretty fast.
Not bad.
My PC is running at like 2133. So
Yeah, I think mine is also 2133.
yeah. So this is pushing.
Yeah, this RAM, this speed is better than my RAM on my PC.
Seriously, what's going on here? I might have to just put this in my motherboard.
I might have to just get a bunch of dongles and hook up my monitors and keyboard, and then just use a phone.
Imagine. Let me just install GTA on my phone real quick.
Yeah.
Plug it into my monitor.
Hop
and
in
play.
Discord.
This thing looks pretty good actually. And this one there seems to be a lot more information than the A14.
Yeah, well,
A14 is still kind of looking like a.
Apple doesn't really reveal a lot of their stuff. Not a lot of Apple stuff gets leaked before it comes out. Or well, they usually leak it right before it comes out.
I think that's kind of part of their marketing because a lot of people become really excited because they have
no idea what's coming. And it
you know what I
builds
mean?
up the
And
hype.
then like it kind of dies out for the rest of like the Android phones because we kind of already know what to expect from it.
Yeah.
So when we actually receive the phone, it's not so much of a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like for example, the MacBook Air. No one knew that one was coming. The refresh that just happened.
Oh,
just,
okay, the new one.
It
Yeah.
just happened. They were just
Well,
they just
yeah.
dropped it on their website. I don't even think they announced it.
Yeah, no, see, so, well, I don't know. They might have to, Qualcomm might have to change their
Marketing.
branding, their marketing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Apple is just so mainstream that whatever they do, people are gonna like speculate about it, and it's gonna create hype. But for these lesser known companies, well, lesser known to the modern population, people don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, no one's ever heard of Snapdragon. Like, you can't just go out on the street and talk about the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865. People are gonna have no idea what you're talking about.
They're gonna think you're crazy.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, no, I like these.
I like these.
I'm still an Android boy.
I mean, yeah, and I'm still an Apple guy. I don't know. I just like Apple's just so simplistic. It's just everything. I hate to say it, but it just works. Everything works.
That's true, but I like the complexity of Android.
Mm-hmm.
Android allows me to do whatever the hell I want to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Although Google's kind of they're pushing it a little bit, and they're starting to limit certain things you're trying to do. Not completely, but they're setting roadblocks in a way, right? So they're like the Play Store, for example, is kind of sometimes preventing you from installing stuff. You could work around it, right? But
Yeah, Apple.
they're like, oh,
Apple's the same way.
you know.
They barely let you install anything.
Yeah, so it's kind of getting to a point where it's like, am I gonna lose the freedom that I have on my Android device? You know.
And then, would you consider switching over to Apple at that point? Is the only thing keeping you in the Google Pixel Android area the freedom?
Definitely. The way I can customize my phone on an Android, it cannot be compared to an iPhone.
Yeah, that's true.
But once I lose that, then yeah, I probably
You
would
might
go
as well
to
switch over.
I might as well go to an Apple phone. I mean,
they didn't talk.
I like their designs. For sure. I'm a sucker for the design of the phones.
Yeah, Apple has sick designs.
Yeah, I rock with that a lot. But we'll see. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Definitely in the next 5 years. There's going to be a big change in the Android operating system.
Yeah. All right.
Well, the Android ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, the ecosystem, nothing compares to Apple's ecosystem right now.
Oh no, they're at least in the United States, they're dominating.
Apple's
There's
ecosystem
no doubt about that.
is a big ass wall. That's really hard.
And everything is integrated. I mean,
everything's integrated perfectly. It's basically seamlessly. Like, I could have something open on my phone, and then open my laptop and just continue it right there, and then switch it over to, if I had an iPad, I guess I could switch it over to my iPad.
I'll go there. Then again, here's where we talk about this freedom of your device, because as we were just saying for the new MacBook, now more than likely Apple's going to put in hardware, level blockages to prevent you from doing certain things.
But I feel like they wouldn't try to kill their own ecosystem. I feel like this would be used to improve the ecosystem even more, to raise the walls of the ecosystem, because they don't want people leaving.
I give Apple one thing though. It's going to be hard to exploit their stuff now, right? Because now you're going to have people have to focus on their hardware specifically.
Yeah, because they can't just figure out how to, use Intel chips, and then that'll help with the Apple, because Apple's no longer going to use Intel chips.
Yeah. And recently though, a lot of Intel chips have proven to be not good. I think everything from the ninth generation down is exploitable now.
Yeah,
so
pretty much. I mean,
it's not good.
yeah. Apple's also
Alright.
still using AMD graphics, which
Which
we don't know. I feel like they'll continue using AMD or Intel, whichever. Because I know, with the 16-inch, you could switch Intel and AMD graphics. They have two different ones, depending on which one you get.
Oh really?
You could either get Intel or
Okay.
AMD.
The Intel one is probably like integrated graphics.
It's Intel
The-
UHD
the-
630 graphics.
Yeah. So that's like
Yeah, that's
integrated graphics,
integrated.
right?
And then
I would say just go for the AMD
and then you
one.
could just get the AMD. I know baseline is the Radeon 5300.
Which is actually really good.
Mhm.
So I think the 5000 series is going for like over 300 on like
Yeah.
Amazon or something like that.
And then
So it's a pretty decent GPU.
if it's going for 300, then it's going on Apple for 600. Basically.
Right.
That's
Basically.
the Apple tax.
Which is ridiculous.
It also goes up
Because
to 2
oh yeah,
terabytes.
actually that is a negative of Apple though. Their pricing is
The new MacBook
Not
Pro
worth
also goes up to 8 terabytes of
8
of
terabytes.
storage. Yeah, 64 gigs of RAM, 8 terabytes of storage.
Can I upgrade that myself?
Do you want to upgrade the 8 terabytes, or do you
Well yeah, like I wanna
want to
I
get
mean-
the baseline and upgrade the storage?
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But, like without Apple, then no, because that's how they work. You have
Yeah,
to
let's see.
everything's soldered on, so you'd have to get it as you buy it.
Oh well, I mean, unless you're good with a soldering iron.
I mean,
See, but then I would see like that. This is where, see now Apple would probably have some measures in place to see, like if people want to use knockoff products,
Yeah.
knockoff parts and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Apple checks for that as well.
yeah, and that's gonna get even more, or even worse with the A14 chips if they add them, because now they have their own chips, and then say goodbye to anything that's third party.
That's tough. That's tough. Okay, so I think we're gonna move on to our last topic of the day, which is just like, out the field real quick. A little
And that
bit.
is,
Apparently, this is
oh, we're
apparent-
bringing up
apparently, right?
the
Yeah,
5G
yeah,
Corona.
Yeah.
You have
Apparently,
the article?
it's not even an article. It's just a photo.
It's just a quote.
This photo has been. I went on Instagram this morning, and it's like the first thing I see. It's like, okay, it says, one is a 5G map, one is a coronavirus map in the United
And
States.
they overlay them, right?
And then, yeah, they're right above each other. So I think the one above is the 5G map,
Okay.
I would assume, and then the one at the bottom is the
Coronavirus
coronavirus map.
So basically, coronavirus hotspots are in big cities right now, like New York, and then like California, LA,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
like heavy populated areas, and then obviously, that's where most of the 5G lines are gonna be, because they want to get them rolled out where they're gonna be used the most.
Mm-hmm.
But someone had the big brain idea of looking at the two maps, seeing that they're both in big cities, and we're like, 5G is causing corona. Which
is incredible to see, because I think the guy put in his caption, it was like how the 5G and the wavelength that it's at, right? The millimeter wavelength or whatever, has affected the cells and somehow mutated them and created the coronavirus, and that's the
So-
reason why we have it here.
so
It's like- I
5G
was like,
is
what?
mutating the cells and creating
Yeah,
the corona.
5G, I guess, took some like the flu or some
The
shit,
radiation.
and the radiation mutated the flu, created the coronavirus, which is a whole completely different species, right?
Yeah.
or genome, and now it's spreading around the United States.
Tell you what, I want to meet this guy and have a conversation with him, because this
Yeah, right?
this is
Seriously.
the most out of left field claim of all time.
You know who we gotta get on this podcast? We gotta get Alex Jones.
I want to see. Alex Jones would probably agree with this guy.
Yeah, he'd probably bring some proof too.
He'd
It'd show
probably
us.
find
It'd be like,
something
yeah,
that proves it.
some scientist in Siberia, man lives by himself.
Alexander
He
Malkin
discovered it,
Discovered it.
Alexander Malkin,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
That's a
the,
Russian
the
name.
man, the myth, the legend.
All right.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, that's mostly it.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys, take care.